Hello everyone, welcome to another video log of this vlog advent thing. I'm gonna put it here. So I'm in Montemor on the creative residency, residenciaexp. As I mentioned on the previous video, I'm gonna be doing a series of videos through the whole 25 days of Christmas. I'm already late, but who cares? I'm not even a religious person. I really care about Christmas or celebrations of Christmas or whatever. It's just fun to do daily videos. So that's what you get. So a few things I would like to mention today on this video. First, what the hell it is that I'm doing here. It's creative residency. So we are gathered here to develop projects and interactive installations, creative computing stuff. And if you're from, I don't know, video games or whatever, that you are following my channel, you won't really know what the hell it is, so I will try to explain it a little bit. So interactive installations is a sort of art, but with technology embedded into it. So something that you can look at, appreciate, but also interact with at the same time. Might be just moving images, might also be like you can click a button or pull some levers or stuff like that. So those are one type of installations that we are doing here. There's also stuff called physical computing, which is things that have logical intelligence, computational logic behind it, but that have physical elements. It's not just the computer processing stuff, that it also has other physical components behind it. Other ways to show information other than just a screen. Maybe can be something moving, you know, those kind of things. Those are usually called physical computing. I don't know why I didn't come up with the names. So yeah, we're here trying to do different projects related to that, trying to blend art with technology, showing what kinds of new technologies exist. And try to make something cool out of it. With the excitement of the video yesterday, I forgot to mention that I almost missed the bus here. The bus was leaving at 8:45. I left home. Oh, the toast's already. Hold on a second. Well, you can come with me, I guess. Show you the comment a little bit. This is bread from Alentejo. Some people say it's the best bread ever. It's pretty good. I like it. It's already from yesterday, but it still tastes pretty good, so it's good. Have a toast. I'll be doing my toast while I talk. That sound okay? So what was I saying? I almost lost my bus yesterday. It was at 8:45, and I figured it's about half an hour walk. Hey, good morning. This is Tiago Hort. Tiago Hort, say hello to the camera.
Bom dia, camera.
Bom dia, camera. So yeah, I almost missed my bus yesterday. It was like 30 minutes walk, and I decided to just walk it. And then I got slightly lost in the city because I was going through a shortcut, and they have very small streets. So I ended up going zigzag, and at some point I was walking backwards, and I'm like, what the fuck? I shouldn't be walking backwards. I kept checking my clock. And I did manage to arrive on time though at the stop, and then the bus was late, so didn't even need to run in the end, but well, managed to catch the bus. That's what matters. So today we are doing stuff. More people should arrive. Yesterday only 4 people arrived. We are, I think, about 13, 14 overall, not sure. It's 11 projects, at least one person per project. Some projects have 2, only one project has 3 people involved. So I think it should be around 15, 16 people overall, something like that. So yeah, more people will arrive. We will define places where to try to set up our project and get to it. I already did some tests yesterday. I already found myself a spot. So we'll see if I need to change depending on the needs of people, if they need like completely dark room, stuff like that, more space. So yeah. Interesting days. Hope to do some more interesting videos, maybe interviewing some people, showing some of the stuff we've been doing. We also had some interesting discussions yesterday. Talked about state of the art of neural networks, doing style transfer. You guys know that I'm into that. I use Deep Dream Generator a lot. So I've been showing some guys what is possible, and the latest research from NVIDIA generating faces of famous people, faces that never existed, just the computer generates it. Also, you can do a lot of interesting things with image classification. There was this video made for the Grammys where you were riding a Uber, and they had a camera outside capturing in real time what was happening on the street. They would classify those what is happening, so they see the people, they see the dogs, a fire hydrant, helmets, stuff like that. They throw it to the computer is playing a bass sound, and then as he spots things on the screen, it will make a sound and do a little drawing on that spot, so people see that the city was making the music somehow by driving the car around, which was very well done, very cool video. I also wrote a blog post about everything that we talked about yesterday. Check out residenciaexp.blogspot.com. You can find the links there. I guess I'll put on the description of this video. What else? We talk about Article 13 from the European Union. They're trying to revise the copyright law and managing to fuck it up even worse, thanks to the lobby from the music industry and dinosaur media, as we like to call them, newspapers and radio news. Not radio news, what's it called? Television? Television news stations, I guess that's the proper name for it. What has been fun in Portugal is that we've been discussing this for well over like 5 months, 6 months. There are digital liberties groups talking about it, actively about it, trying to change the minds of people who vote on the European Parliament. A lot of the Portuguese people who voted on the Portuguese Parliament voted in favor of those measures, especially Article 11 and Article 13, which do make sense as a whole, but has some fundamental flaws in it about both freedom of speech and just breaking the way internet works. A lot of digital groups have been talking about this. They have demonstrated that this is true. People of law, people of the computer sciences have mentioned that this is people who have drafted the proposal don't understand what they are writing about. It's confusing, it's not objective, you can't really quantify things as they are describing, so it will be very hard to enforce, and for people on the other side of the law to make sure that they are going forward with this acceptably. Like, they don't know if they are upholding the law or not, or going by the law or not. So a very touchy subject, but unfortunately Euro Parliament deputies seem to only care about the money coming from the big industry of the record business, so they are ignoring, and actually they were dismissing a lot of the claims that was coming from these digital liberties groups as sponsored by the big corporations like Google, because Google will be one of the most affected companies. So they were dismissing it as Google propaganda, which is completely wrong. One of the Portuguese digital groups that I happen to follow and support, it's called D3. They wrote a few articles about this. Every single time that was a big news item on the Portuguese media, which was not a lot, was like 3 times maximum. And it was mostly opinion articles, not really investigative articles. It didn't show up on the television. It was like a blurb somewhere on the internet. They dismantled it and explained every single point, what was wrong with it, what was correct with it, giving references to other people saying the same, saying similar things, and explaining this is not a complot from Google, because Google will be one of the most hurt by this law that is coming out. That's true. They will have to implement stuff that is impossible to implement. so they will be forced to leave the European market. And finally, in Portugal, we are starting to talk about the Article 13, and you may ask yourself, why are we talking about the Article 13 now? Because a famous YouTuber in Portugal called Want, which I personally don't follow and like because I think it just does stupid things to get numbers, he finally talked about Article 13, saying that his channel might be deleted, and that sent out a freak wave across all the teenagers that follow him, which of course went up to the parents, and the parents started freaking out, and then news media started going after one, saying that he was an alarmist and just raising panic on the internet and all sorts of things, which is pretty ridiculous because he finally was the person who managed to get the big media talking about Article 13, who needs to be talked about. So yeah, that's also very important and actual piece of news that we've been discussing here. Some people didn't even know what the hell Article 13 was, so that's how broad it is and how much it will affect all of us. So interesting that it took a YouTuber with 3,000 subscribers, or 3 million subscribers, to bring awareness to the issue in Portugal. Even more sad is that the Portuguese media is only responding to talk shit about the kid instead of actually talking about the Article 13, which is what he wants people to talk about and be aware of. So, all pretty fucked up. But you know, it's Portugal, that's where we live, you know, corruption for the win. So yeah, that's it. Hope to do a few more videos afterwards about other things that we talk about, not just this negative shit coming from our beloved politicians. So yeah, hope to see you guys next video. Bye bye everyone, take care.